I
ordered.
had read on your wish list
Mm-hmm.
that you are not interested in Girl Saves the World story?
Yes.
What is a Girl Saves the World story, and why don't you want it?
Okay, so I would classify a Girl Saves the World story. Let's just go with a classic example of the Hunger Games. Now, Katniss, all Homegirl really wanted to do was feed her family every single day and just survive. She didn't want to be called into
And
the
choose between one of her two hunky boyfriends.
yeah,
Just putting
and
that out
choose
there.
between which I'm sorry, but if we're living in a world where like food is scarce, I'm going with the baker automatic. I'm sorry, that's just me. That's just my personal decision. But I mean, it's just like one. I think they're the most familiar story that we have with this type of Girl Saves the World archetype is that she's always reluctant. That's not true for every case, but most of the time we see them, she's always reluctant. And I'm like, by page 70, I'm like, why can't we just let her do what she want to do? Somebody else has probably more experience, with whatever they have, the more logistical thinking. Like even in the second book in the Hunger Games where she's like is maybe not the second, so the third, where she's like joined the rebellion and she's like the face of it. She's still not coming up with anything. The only thing that she's good for is her face and the connotations of how people think of her, which I think is also a really interesting commentary on our perceptions of people and our perceptions of power. But I would have been cool with watching her run away and just live in the forest. Probably be pretty boring, but that's just that example.
It could be a
yes.
local level villain.
Yeah.
That she could take down.
It's just, okay. The same. Sorry to go back to this example, but it is kind of perfect on The Last of Us. Joel's whole arc is to get this girl Ellie, who is immune to the virus, which is actually not a virus, it's a fungus, which you can't get a cure for. That turns people into zombies. Like his whole thing is to get her there so they can create a cure to save the world. But really, that story is about Joel and Ellie surviving day to day and becoming closer together, and figuring out what's more important, the world or each other. And that story is more interesting to me than we have to find the cure. And I think it's just because.
But that one still has the stakes of the whole world. It's just the opposite. It's boy destroys world.
No, yes, exactly.
Saves.
But okay, so like to just sum it up, it's just me. If we were at the end of the world, I am not concerned with what can I do to make this better. I am going to be like, what can I do to make sure me and my loved ones get what we need for what we want, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's our
the way
basic.
2020 is going, we may have the opportunity to test that theory.
Yeah, you may have the opportunity. And I'm just like, which by the way, I'm out. You can count me out. I'll open up my drawers with my 2 cans of soup. I will give them out because I am not surviving in that situation. I chopped wood one time in my life. It almost slipped out of my hands and cut off my ankle. So I'm fine.
No faith in your ability to survive the apocalypse.
Yes.
So
I hope that
would-be queriers need to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Great literary agent, so long as society remains intact.
Yes.
But is this who you want representing you in the zombie apocalypse?
Exactly. Can you count on me post-apocalypse? The answer is no.
We should put that on your new bio, just update it, let everybody know up front.